Good evening, everyone. Good evening from my little shed. It looks so nice with the lights on and everything, doesn't it? I've been in here a little while now. I've been doing God, I've been thinking loads lately. Just thinking like loads of things. And I thought, right, okay, I can't have these keep going round in my head. I need to get them out. So I thought I'll do what I need to do tonight. I'll come down the shed. I'll have some time on my own and I will do a bit of work on myself. And it's been really interesting what's come up. So I wanted to share a bit of it really. And what's come up is, and I suppose what's come up over the last few months as well, is, you know, what makes us truly happy and how that can change over the years, over time, when things change with your life. So it got me to thinking, when have I been truly happy? When do I feel like at my most happiest? When am I the best ever? And that has always been, and still is really, when I'm with my kids, when I'm with my family. When I'm with my kids, right, I am the happiest and I feel life is right when I'm with them, because I've literally devoted everything. I've given everything. Sometimes I feel like they've actually sucked the life out of me, but in a good way. I've literally like devoted the last 20 years to being like the best mum that I can be. And I think it's paid off because I've got two brilliant kids, two fucking amazing kids. I really have. And it's always made me truly happy. And that has been my mission, to give them the best life possible. And I don't think that will ever change. I think that will always be within me. But actually, when they started to get a bit older, so I'm going back about 7 or 8 years when I first started to notice this. When they started to get a bit older, my son was leaving primary, so there was going to be no school run. My daughter was at secondary, she was out with her friends and stuff like that. There was definite shift in how things were in the house, in the family, in what was needed, what I was needed for. And I worked part-time. I chose to leave a full-time job to be with the kids. I wanted to, and that was the best thing for all of us. And I started to feel a bit like redundant, you know, like, so my daughter was off out and my son was playing football, and I didn't have to go and do the school run, or I didn't have to do the things that they needed me to do all the time as before. And that might sound really nice to some people who are in the throes of when the kids are little and they just got no time at all to spare. But actually, I started to panic. I started to think, what's the point of I really did. What's the point of me being around, really? And that might sound like I'm feeling sorry for myself, but I did start to think, well, they don't need me anymore. And that fed into like a lot of stuff from my past, which just added to how like pointless I was feeling, I think. So, you know, I used to, and I still am an emotional eater, although I am a lot better now. It led me to sort of like eat like just crap all day long because I was just bored. But I was bored because I felt lonely. I felt pointless. And that was horrible. So, you know, I'd wander around the house. There was always stuff to do. Don't get me wrong. I had stuff to do. I was working. I had a dog. Oh, I got the dog because I felt a bit redundant. I felt like I needed something to nurture. So we're going back 8 years because he's 8. And I got Buddy and I chose him myself. I said I wanted a dog because I knew I needed something to nurture in my life. I needed something else. I needed something to make me feel better. And yet, so I had stuff to do. You know, the house always needs cleaning, dog always needs walking, there's always washing up, there's always washing to do. So I had all of that. But then in between those moments, and when I wasn't at work, I felt really lonely. I felt like, what am I going to do? And I used to eat shit. I used to just go in and out the cupboards, just picking at things. I'd go in another room and come back, and I'd go in another cupboard, go back, go and do something else. And then I'd think, oh, I want something else to eat. So I'd go in the fridge, open that about 10 times, have cheese, have ham, whatever. I didn't want it. I just didn't know what to do. I felt at a loss. I felt just lost. And that went on for quite a while. Now, I still eat sometimes, not the best, but I'm so much better than I was. And I am really aware of it now. Anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. It was just that feeling of, okay, so I've done a really good job here. I've given up everything by choice. And then now what am I going to do? I don't feel whole. I didn't really know who I was, I suppose. And again, that might sound a bit cheesy, not knowing you. But I think when you do put everything into your family or your kids, you do lose a sense of who you are, you know, even to the point of, what am I wearing? You know, it changes, doesn't it? We change. Everything changes all the time. And I'm a massive lover of change, but this was a lot. And it was hard. It was really hard. I started to get anxious about the future. I started to worry about what would happen, and I'd get like wound up, and I'd also find myself quite needy. So I'd make like little comments, oh, no one cares anyway. And, you know, I do joke about that still now, but it's a joke. Whereas then I would drop little comments like, oh, it wouldn't really matter if I wasn't here, or, you know, and it's not that I would ever do anything, but it was just little things that I was saying that was how I was feeling. So as I'm saying it all sounds quite dramatic, but I'm thinking back to how I was feeling. And what I'm getting at is that when your purpose changes, now my purpose is still to be the best mum ever, but I have other things now. When your purpose changes, when things change in your life, it's not about filling the gap, is it? It's about finding something that feels right for you, creating something for you without it being or feeling selfish. You know, I've created and built up a little business. And again, when I'm at my happiest now, it's still with my kids, but when I'm at my happiest now, it's when I'm working with my clients. I know that. People notice it. My husband says, oh my God, you're in a good mood. Yeah, because I've just had a fucking brilliant session with a client. That's why I feel so good. That's what brings me joy. And that feels really, really good. And I will always be wanting to be the best mum and wanting to create this life for my kids. But I've done a really good job. And now it's time to maybe like have something for me and it not feel selfish. It's not selfish. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on tonight in the shed. And it's been quite powerful, really. I've done a lot of writing, I've done a lot of tapping, and things are starting to feel good, even better, because I'm noticing how I'm feeling, and I'm noticing what maybe I need to do to make more positive changes. So yeah, I just wanted to share that, because if you are a mum and you are at a point where your kids are moving away or just leaving school, or I don't know, you may feel that you're needed in a different way, then you might feel you need to fill the gap. But it's not about filling the gap, is it? It's about just maybe revisiting the stuff that you always wanted to have from the past. And I did a challenge on that a little while back, a little focus a couple of weeks ago, about revisiting things that you really always wanted to be, do and have from your past. And when we give everything to our families, a lot of that fizzles away. We don't think about that. And then when our families don't need us in the same way, it's like, well, can I still have those things that I always wanted when I was 14? And that's where the thoughts of, well, no, you can't because you're stupid, and that'd be a stupid thing to think, or no, you're too old for that now, or you can't afford it, or that's selfish. But actually, having something for yourself is not selfish. It's a great thing to be. It makes you even happier. So how about feeling even happier and having something for yourself at the same time? And that's where I want to get. That's where I want to have more of. And that's where I want to help people more. I'm at my happiest helping people. I love working with my clients, which is why this course has come about, I think. This is why it's come, because you can feel purposeful again. You know, you can. And that's what I want to bring to you. So I hope some of this has made sense. I hope my ramblings tonight at whatever time it is. I'm looking at the dartboard. That's not going to tell me the time. It's about 10 o'clock, I think. I hope it's made some sense. And yeah, you can, things do change. And you're not bad for wanting something for yourself when things in your family change, when your kids are living a fantastic life and they don't need you as much. It's okay. Yeah. So just think about what truly makes you happy and how that's changed over the years. It's interesting. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. But for now, see you soon.